Shamps and giggles. History, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective. Shamps and giggles back for 2024. Oh my lord.
Nobody wanted to sing. So we've had the condolences. Lord Uzi's there. Cece Houston, Whitney Houston's mother, also. And we had the little banter with this thief that, outrageously broke into Pinky's yard and stole her Ponte. And Pinky was just livid. What do we have next?
Oh dear.
Interestingly enough, there's a lot to look forward to. We have a dilemma on the show today. These kids need help with their college tuition, and we got some history as well. It is Black History Month, and what better time to really, as much as we do it throughout the year, of course, what better time to give mention to the historic people that made an impact on our lives. Keeps looking up, Sam. I know he's looking up. Congratulations, perhaps.
There is a congratulations.
There
is. There is another one. There is another one.
I read your mind.
I was waiting for you, but I wanted to congratulate. Hopefully, I'll give her name justice. It's Omolara, Omolara. Omolara Agboola, Agboola. She won Kara. She's a Kara wins Black History Month cooking contest.
No way.
Yeah. If you can find her name.
Should we be surprised? We're not. Come on now.
Yeah.
You put Black women out there to cook. Of course we're going to win.
Lovely young lady.
Competition.
Yeah. And the competition was in Ipswich, apparently. It was in Ipswich. And the Kera worker from Nigeria has won the traditional cooking contest in celebration of Black History Month. And the thing is, the newspapers carried that. So I'm going to congratulate her.
So Omolara Agboola.
Yes.
And she said she stuck to her family recipe. Let's show a picture of her.
That's correct. She
Absolutely
did.
Beautiful young lady. And made it slightly less spicy for a wider audience. Isn't that just a classic?
Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
Well done. And she's a carer. Interestingly enough, last week it was also the carer.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, it's a midwife, wasn't it?
Yes, a midwife. Junior midwife.
It made the app for Black babies, and now we got.
Yes.
It just goes to show, if it's mentioned, if it's promoted, Black people, we're busy, We're busy working,
Oh, she cooked my favorite rice, jollof rice. I love that. Oh, I love jollof.
Of course. It's a dish based on rice cooked in tomatoes, but with many variations across West Africa.
Yeah, jollof. Well, the best for jollof they say is Gambia, but Nigerians cook it just as well. Ghanaians as well, too.
Yeah. And
jollof rice is nice.
So interestingly, they tasted, as even people in England, as the article states, the indigenous of this country. They're not indigenous of this. Sorry, love. No. Even people in England, the indigenous of this country, they're not.
No.
This country has undergone many, many changes. Let's not be fooled. Black people been there from a long time. What's his name? Septimus? What? From a long time.
Well, of course, we arrived 12,000 years or 10,000 years before the British arrived. So let's get
rid of that word,
because that is Black history. So yes,
that's right. We were there a long time. So that indigenous, they must be talking about us from then. But they're not.
Of course,
because this is the BBC. See, the BBC's not talking about the truth there. You know what I mean? So get rid of that word indigenous. but the newcomers to the country can taste what the Africans enjoy. And in fact, you know, the palate doesn't lie. Sometimes in your palate, there's history in your taste that goes way back. So it's not surprising when white people enjoy black food, because back in the day, remember, it was the slaves them that was cooking the meal.
Yeah, very true.
It was the slaves. So of course they're gonna have a palate for our cooking, because we cook. We cooked their grandparents and great-grands and grands and grand. I mean, we were the one preparing their food.
Very true.
So yeah, congratulations to Omolara Agboola. Well done.
Yeah.
And glad to give her a big up.
Yeah, we
You know
had
what would be really nice if we could get Omolara or some of these individuals on the show, because of course they're just as what we are, and it'd be nice for them to give their little take on, you know, their success, because they get a little mention there. But yeah, we'd love to give them a big mention.
Big mention on air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Especially as Caribbean people love jollof rice. So, you know what I mean?
Maybe get into
been
the
eating
cookout.
jollof rice has been a part of our makeup now for long. And even if you think our Guyanese do what they call cook up rice
Cook up
as well.
rice, yeah.
Is you know, it's
good cook up rice.
Yeah, it's very all very intertwined and very much intermixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Leisha says we were not always slaves. We were not all
of course we wasn't.
enslaved.
No, indeed, he's right.
I mean, there's much truth in that.
Slavery interrupted our existence, because we were kings and queens, and you know, you go back to the Moors, you go back to even the history of the UK, you know.
Well, no, we weren't necessarily slaves in the UK per se. Alicia, you had your hand up, part of things, but it's quite interesting that we were not always slaves. Then we were enslaved, and you know, we were just traumatized. Literally.
Not all of us were enslaved.
No, not in this country, because we know many people were speaking up in favor of black people in this country, and because of hearing of reports of what was going on overseas. But we were traumatized by what was happening. Of course, if you're black and you're hearing like, oh, Lord, that's going to affect you. What was that movie called? 12 Years a Slave.
Slavery.
And the he was drugged and kidnapped. He was a free man.
Yeah.
But when he was drugged, kidnapped, and thrown down south into America, I think he was from Canada, he became a slave. You know, so yeah, we were not all slaves, but yet the story of it is traumatizing to all black people. By the way, on that point, there were white slaves at a point in time as well.
Oh gosh, yeah, it was.
Yes. That's not been publicized.
Yeah, there was.
You know, tell white people that you were a slave back in the day, like, well, which one of us where? Nobody's dug up that history.
No, you're right.
Our history. See, they throw it all out there. Yoland's in the building. Whose name me never call it? Toots did it. Hey, what a god. I mean, yeah. Pretty's there. What a god.
But
is in the building. It looks like everybody's back. They were away.
I was gonna interrupt and say that. You did. Well, actually, they are in the history, and if you've read history, and if you read parts of the Caribbean history, particularly Barbados, Jamaica, you will find, and St. Vincent, you will find that in the history of the fabric of their history, there is a book entailed. What was it called? To Ireland or to Barbados or to Hell. So there was a lot of Irish people. What we've known for how long was transported as the as part of slavery from the UK.
That's correct. Yeah, they were.
Right.
That's what Joe was saying. White
Yeah.
people were. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And that is very much within our fabric of Barbados, Jamaica, because the Scotch and the Scottish as well, because it wasn't just the Irish, it was the Irish and the Scotch. But again, not all of them, because it's really hard to explain this, because you've got a host of Black Irish that goes way, way, way back. That were also not slaved. So
no, but back in the day, remember, it used to say no blacks, no Irish, no dogs.
Right.
No
right.
blacks.
But yeah.
So they was lumped in as well, weren't they?
Yeah, so you have to look into their history, and you will see that you would have the Black Irish as well, even though you had Irish who were slaves. You also had the Black Irish as well. Quite interesting to look up the history on that.
Alicia? Thank you, Pinky. Alicia, you got your hand up?
Yeah, the Irish, they weren't enslaved, they were indentured servants.
Oh, they had a different name for them.
They came over, they may have been because they wanted to flee because of work, but also because of crimes and things like that. So they come over to Barbados. They came over to Barbados, but they very much separate themselves from the Black population in Barbados. And there is, it's known that a lot of them, because they separate themselves, they procreated amongst one another, if that makes sense. There was a lot of incest between them.
Wow.
They want to mix with Black people. So it's known that there are communities or community of Irish people who have so had, intermingled with each other or procreated with one another to the point where it's affected their health.
Okay.
We can't hear you, Joseph. You've gone. You're
on mute. You've muted yourself.
This intermingling was something that happened back then, but has it worked its way out the system, or is it still current?
No, well, I mean, historically, that's what happened then, because they were white, weren't they? They were still seen as white, see themselves as white. They didn't want to mix with Black people, or the slaves. So yeah, some of them did. Some of them had, they procreated with the Black population, but a large majority didn't, because they didn't want to procreate with Black people, and in doing so, it meant that it affected their health. So they had a lot of mental problems and deformities and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of poverty. There's a large population of impoverished.
Yeah, that's the one. To hell or to Barbados. There you go. You got it. Oh, wonderful, Joseph. You are on point.
Barbados, yeah.
Ethnic cleansing of Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
But ethnic cleansing of Black people, you hear that common news. But such what you brought up there, Pinky, you have to find that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, but I couldn't remember I think I had the book somewhere, but yeah. But
no, you did well in mentioning it, because it just goes to show that why is our suffering promoted so much so as and theirs not?
Exactly.
Does that have some effect on our mindset?
Well, I remember once an Irish woman tried to be funny with me once on the bus, and she thought I didn't know my history. But when I put her in her place and made her know, look, listen, I can tell you where you're coming from too. I mean, because
right,
enough, because I make sure, So I had to put, because she wanted to say to me like, oh, we were really good to you people. Excuse me, you were really good to us people. Okay, well, let me just remind you of something too.
Right.
In 16 and 15 such and such, you know. You know, you need to go and do some go and read what it says, to Barbados or to hell.
That's right. A vivid account of the Irish slave trade, the previously untold story of over 50,000 Irish men, women, and children who were transported to Barbados and Virginia. So yeah, it's not just, but that story, you don't see a movie to hell or Barbados. And so I think that's some sort of mental conditioning.
If you dig a bit more, Joe, you will see that there's the black history of the Irish and them that went to Barbados too.
In a book.
You understand that there was black Irish here in the UK. Listen to what I'm saying. And black Scottish here in the UK way before that went to also transported to Barbados and Jamaica.
Yeah, a friend of mine is black Irish. Patrick, he's black Irish. He was born, bred, and raised in Ireland. So yeah, definitely there was black. But again, you have to dig for these things. When I tell people, he's Irish, they're like, huh? They don't think there's black people, but there is. Of course there is. But as you can see, the brainwashing, it is a brainwashing. They make you think that you're only in certain places when black people is everywhere.
Yeah, but you can tell by when you've got things like pubs. Remember all the pubs, the Black Prince? Where do you think all of that comes from? Because there was the Black Prince.
But there you are. The names tell it all, don't it?
Yeah.
How amazing is that? Let's move on as we talk. Is there any more congratulations, by the way, Keith?
No, that was the last one. That was the last one for now.
What about the women's amazing what did they do? It was Women of the Year Awards, was it that? Yeah.
Oh yes, there was. Yes. Women, yes, there was. And I meant to mention that, wasn't I? Yeah, there was. Do you know what? I must have thought that was last week, but yes, you're correct on that. It's women, Women Awards, yeah, it was. Celebrating and recognizing the contributions of women across the, yes, it was. Women of the Year, yeah.
Right, I think
there were several black recipients of the award. That's the one.
Right.
That's it. Women of the Year. And you'll find, I think it's in awards. You have to go to.
So each year, their annual London Award celebrates the achievements of 450 specially chosen women from across the UK, around the world, who are doing remarkable work and making a difference to others. From shifting and serving society to saving lives, breaking glass ceilings and building communities. Women of the Year recognizes women whose exceptional efforts today are paving the way for the women of tomorrow.
Yes.
So there's a beautiful picture there. This is a new picture. The picture we saw the other day wasn't the same.
No, I think I make sure that's the right, because they do it every year, so we have to make sure that's not
How do you know what year it is? Okay, awards. Let's go to awards, shall we?
Awards.
2024 would be the one.
Yeah, keep going down. That's last. That's it. That's this year. Yes.
So there. By the way, shamsandgiggles.co.uk. Shams and Giggles is on YouTube. So if you're listening on the radio, of course you're hearing us talk, but the visuals you can find on our YouTube channel where the show is repeated. And Keith, the radio station, we're on how many or what different radio?
Yeah, we're on a number of radio stations throughout the week. So if you can't listen to us now live, you can always catch a replay of us every day on various radio stations online. So it starts with a Monday. Monday 6 till 8, blackculturalradio.com. On a Tuesday between 8 and 10, we're on rhythmconnectionsradio.com. Wednesday 6 and 8, rocksolid.co.uk. Thursday 6 and 8, we're on blackcultureradio.com. On Saturday, we're on Slam Radio flavours.com.co.uk, and on a Saturday night evening 6 till 8 we're on Rock Solid FM again, and we're also on Sunday between 9 and 11 in the evening, Rhythm Connections Radio, but we're also on Mood FM and Slam FM as well. So we're on at least 10 radio stations throughout the week.
So you can catch us at some point.
Yes.
We'll have to put a list of that on the old
We
website,
do.
shampsandgiggles.co.uk.
Yes.
TikTok and Instagram as well. I think we're represented there as well. So
Correct. And
the platform
Facebook
is definitely growing, and
Facebook.
And Facebook too.
Facebook, don't forget. Yeah.
Word is certainly getting out. It's quite interesting here. The look at this. One of the winners, Tinuke Awe and Clotilde Abbey.
Yes.
I do hope I pronounced that right. And co-founders of 5X More. Wow.
Yep.
We have to find this product 5X More, just to big them up. And they were their remarkable efforts in raising awareness and improving maternal health outcomes, things for Black women in the UK. And
we spoke about it last week.
We did.
We spoke about the young women who's having babies, and with the app, the new app
Correct.
And now this is another one pioneering and winning awards for similar.
Correct. And remember, that's off the backdrop where, I think it was a panorama trying to say that Black women are not getting the medical attention that they deserve.
Correct.
When giving birth.
Yes. Our pain threshold are infinitely wide, and we don't feel pain. So we're not in those positions that we scream out pain for. So yes.
Right.
Yeah. So your broadband is cutting, but so it's great that we're here to celebrate those women's awards, which needs to be recognised, and I think that we need to give them thanks. And once the CEO has the other recipients of those awards.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull up the website for the young ladies.
Lovely.
5X More.
Yes.
The spelling of FIVEXMORE. In fact, that can just be Googled, and it can be found very easily. So our listeners can simply jump onto their web and find out a lot more information about them. But yeah, pioneering individuals making a change for all of us, because they're the ones giving birth in it.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. Yeah, grassroots organization. Yeah, committed to changing and highlighting Black maternal health outcomes in the UK, and it only started in 2019.
Right.
When Black mothers came together with a dream of improving maternal mortality rates and healthcare outcomes. So so the mortality rates with young adults was low,
Yeah, and they were doing this before COVID, so we can't just say it was because of COVID. If something that they had started before COVID, maybe COVID gave them more time.
Yes.
But yeah, amazing.
So well done to them on that, winning an award and being recognised. Yep.
So who else was there? I think there was about 5, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was about 5 on there. I'm just trying to get the same picture that you had. To recognise them. 2024.
It's only showed me 2, so if you find more.
Yeah, we can always bring them up later on. Jemmy's got his hand up.
Start the things.
Let's have one
Jemmy?
from out of this world, eh? In 2024, Ed Dwight, a former Air Force test pilot and the first Black astronaut candidate, became the oldest person to fly to space at the age of 90. Dwight flew on the Blue Origin Space tourist launch in May 2024, traveling more than 100 kilometers above Earth's surface. Dwight was passed over for an astronaut position in the 1960s due to racial politics and left the Air Force in 1966. There's a Black History fact for you guys.
Brilliant. Well done.
Excellent.
Well done. And I've got another congratulatory one, and I'm going to prove it. There's a young lady that's doing great work abroad, but she's UK born, and I'm just proud to know her as a family friend. I class her as one of my goddaughters. The name and the CEO would know her well, and so would another person on our group called Dee. And she's written 2 books, and I am so proud of these books. And her name is written by Denise Wallace. And I've well, you can't see it, but I've got the 2 books, and I've even purchased a brand new one that she's just written. And the first book was called Travel with Denny.
Travel with Denny, correct?
Yeah. And the second book that she's just been published is called Wonder with Wallace.
That's right.
And I've just purchased this book, and for my grandkids. And listen, trust me, when I say it is very, very, I'm going to try and take, I don't mind showing my back scroll. I need to show you this because for me, there's certain things in this book I didn't even know, and I'm 60 plus.
Oh,
I'm 60 plus, and I didn't even know that there's, I don't mind, certain things in this book I didn't know that was in there. And I will definitely, oh dear, when we come back from break, I will definitely be talking about this book. All right, definitely, because that's a congratulations.
I hope we can do break. Good Lord. Let's oh Lord. Well, let's see if we can do break without me cutting off. I don't know what's going with this internet today. We will be back after these words.
Just do the recording.